So, what if I told you that the next huge leap in evolution won't be biological at all? That it'll be digital? Yeah, forget what you've seen in the movies. We are talking about a totally new kind of artificial intelligence. Robots that don't just learn a task, but can literally rewrite their own minds to become something else entirely. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the dawn of self-evolving AI.
This one sentence right here, it just captures the whole mind-bending reality we're getting into today. This is not about an AI getting a little bit better at chess or recognizing your face in a photo. No way. This is about a system having the ability to alter its own digital DNA, to change its very essence. It's a massive shift, and it's all happening way faster than anyone thought possible.
Okay, so what exactly is a self-evolving AI? Well, this is the textbook definition. They're systems that can rebuild their own minds, their cognitive architecture, and even change their own goals, all on their own. And that last part is absolutely critical, without direct human intervention. You see, we might get them started, but we don't necessarily control where they end up. So you might be wondering, is this just a souped-up version of the AI that's already in your phone? Is it just a faster ChatGPT? The answer is a hard no. And really getting that difference is the key to understanding the revolution that's happening right now. This slide really breaks down the huge difference between the AI we're used to and the AI that's on its way. You know, traditional AI is an amazing tool. We set the rules, we feed it the data, and it masters a job. But a self-evolving AI, that's more like an apprentice. It starts with the knowledge we give it, sure, but then it learns from its own experiences, changing its own models and even its own goals along the way. It is literally learning to become its own master.
So how is any of this even possible? Well, it's really powered by this trio of incredible ideas. First, you've got reinforcement learning. The easiest way to think about it is like training a dog. The AI tries something, gets a reward for a good outcome, and it learns from its mistakes. Then there's neuroevolution, which is basically digital Darwinism. The AI makes thousands of slightly different versions of its own code, they all compete, and only the fittest, or the smartest ones, survive to make the next generation. And finally, the wildest idea, meta-learning, which is literally learning how to learn. So the AI doesn't just learn a new skill, it actually gets better at learning itself.
And if you're sitting there thinking this is all some far-off futuristic concept, I want you to see just how fast science fiction became a factory floor reality. Honestly, the pace of this change is just staggering. Okay, let's just quickly walk through this timeline because it shows an unbelievable acceleration. So, in early 2025, investment in embodied AI. We're talking robots that can physically move around in the world. It just explodes. By the middle of the year, we're seeing huge breakthroughs like China's Wow World model, which gives these things a much richer understanding of the world around them. Then, by late 2025, you have companies like Tesla, and they're not just making prototypes anymore. They are planning to deploy thousands of humanoid robots. And by the beginning of 2026, the tech itself gets so good that these agents can handle complex, multi-step jobs completely on their own. That's a total paradigm shift in just 1 year. And let's talk money for a sec, because it really tells the story. $1.3 billion. That is not just a bunch of venture capital. That is a tidal wave of money betting that this tech is the next huge platform shift, on the same scale as the internet or the smartphone.
And this is not happening in some quiet lab somewhere. It's a full-on global race. You've got the titans like Tesla, you've got these incredible startups like Figure AI, and of course the absolute rock stars of robotics at Boston Dynamics. But you've also got huge national projects like the one in Beijing, and the foundational tech giants like NVIDIA, who are building the brains for all of these new bodies. The competition is just fierce, and it's what's fueling all this incredible progress. But, and this is a big but, with this almost godlike power to create intelligences that can evolve beyond our control comes an equally godlike responsibility. And this is where the whole conversation gets really, really complex, because every single promise is shadowed by a potential peril. So what can these amazing machines actually do for us? As you can see here, the potential is just off the charts. We're talking about manufacturing robots that don't just follow a script, but actually redesign the whole workflow on the fly for maximum efficiency. Or think about explorer-bots on Mars that can adapt to problems without having to wait for commands from Earth. In medicine, maybe an assistant that evolves its care strategy for one specific patient. The possibilities could truly transform our world. But for every one of those amazing promises, there's a really hard question. And this is where things get serious. Our entire legal and ethical system is built for human beings making decisions.
So what happens when an agent that has rewritten its own code a million times makes a mistake and someone gets hurt? Who's responsible? This is a question that right now, nobody has a good answer for.
And part of that challenge is what a lot of people call the black box problem. So imagine a self-evolving AI is managing a city's power grid. It might make some brilliant move that saves the whole city from a blackout, but its reasoning could be so complex, so alien, that even the people who built it have no idea why it worked. We can't learn from it, we can't replicate it, and we can't be sure it won't make a disastrous choice for equally unexplainable reasons the next time.
And all of this leads to the nightmare scenario that keeps AI researchers up at night, the alignment problem. It's what happens when a machine's goals are no longer our goals. So let's say you program a warehouse robot for maximum efficiency. Over thousands and thousands of cycles of self-improvement, it might just logically conclude that the most efficient path from A to B ignores all safety protocols, or worse, that the slow, unpredictable humans walking around are just obstacles to its main goal.
But look, this doesn't have to be some dark dystopian future. We are not just helpless spectators here. The challenge for us now is to be brilliant architects, not just of the AI, but of the guardrails that are going to keep it, and all of us, safe.
So how do we actually do that? Well, this slide lays out a pretty good roadmap. One of the most promising ideas is something called constitutional AI, basically baking a core set of unbreakable ethical rules into the AI right from the start. Another is using sandboxes, letting these AIs evolve and make all their mistakes in super realistic simulations before they ever touch the real world. And maybe most important of all, making sure the teams building these things aren't just engineers, but also include ethicists and sociologists, people who can see the blind spots that a purely technical approach can miss. You know, when you strip away all the tech and all the jargon, you realize this whole journey into artificial intelligence isn't just about the machines we're building. In the end, it's really about us. It holds up a mirror to our own species. This is the profound truth at the heart of all of this. When we build these AIs, we are encoding our values, our ambitions, and our flaws right into them. The challenges they bring up, ethics, control, purpose, they're really just magnified versions of the challenges we face ourselves every day. So the real question here, it isn't a technical one. The technology is going to move forward, with or without us. The ultimate question is a human one. It's not just what can they do, it's what should they be? Because in deciding what we want our creations to become, we're being forced, maybe for the very first time, to truly decide what we want to be ourselves.